NSC Fan TV. I'm here with Chris. Chris!
Scott!
Yay!
Hat-trick Hany! Chicago Fire, 2 games in a row.
2 games in a row.
2 hat-tricks. One
Two
of them
hat-tricks.
the fastest in MLS history.
That was a fast hat trick.
Well, the one 2 years ago was the
Yeah,
fastest
yeah.
in MLS
Yeah,
history.
yeah.
And then tonight, another fucking hat-trick. Who
You
knew?
were- you were sitting behind me.
Tonight?
No. At the one at Nissan. You had
Yes.
seats.
Yes,
you had
yeah.
seats.
When
And
we first met.
I could hear you. That's how in fact, so I met you at another game. It was at the
Absolutely.
Orlando game because you were wearing the wrong colors.
I was wearing purple that night.
I remember you were here. You're yelling.
I love Nashville. I love all things Nashville. Go Nashville.
Go Nashville.
Until they play Orlando.
That's okay. So
That's fine.
let's talk about that.
We'll deal with that when it comes.
Whenever the purple teams comes here, we'll
fine.
talk again.
We'll cross that purple
and-
bridge
That's
when we get to it.
That's right. So a shutout defense.
That was
Tell me more.
that was the biggest surprise for me. When we showed up, I did not see the lineup prior to arriving, and then we sat in our seats, and I kept looking around. I go, where's Walker?
Where's Walker?
Where's our big white boy with the man bun? He's not out there. And then I said, who's this white blonde boy? It's not Hany.
Who's?
It's not Hany. Normally I see a streak
Looks
of blonde.
like Elsa.
and
Looks
I
like
go,
Elsa.
Oh, that's Hany.
Who's Elsa?
But then I was like, no, this guy's way too pale to be Hany. Who is this guy? So I started looking at my phone. I'm like, who's number 3? Oh, number 3 is our new acquisition from Toronto, our trade for Sapong.
Yeah.
And I mean, I will say this: Sapong win showed out.
It's exactly scoring for Toronto.
Right. He showed up first week, scored for Toronto. And then this week we get McNaughton. And McNaughton, he doesn't score a goal, but the boy comes in and he holds very stout for our back line.
He was all over Shabilko. The tall fella in the air,
Yes,
all over Shabilko.
We need the height. I was happy to see him against Shabilko. And the whole game, I kept asking my girlfriend, I said, I don't even know, who is their striker? Like, who is Chicago's guy? Like, I know one of their guys because he's an ex-Orlando guy, Mueller, but he wasn't even playing tonight. I was like, I hope to see Mueller just do some things. I don't want to see him beat us, but I'd like to see him do some things. He didn't even come out.
Mueller did great stuff for Orlando.
He did. He was great for Orlando.
3 years ago, great.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shabilko came out, and that's when I said, oh, Shabilko, that's their big star. He didn't do it. He did not show that tonight.
Yeah.
He did not show that tonight. Yes, that's right. Philly.
Yeah, it's old
Philly guy. That's
old
where
Philly
I know
guy,
him from.
And then they picked up, and then they scoop it over this way. So Shabilko, and then they brought on Kai Kamara, canny veteran,
love Kai Kamara.
score
Absolutely.
for the ages.
Yes, absolutely.
And he did press us, but canny stuff.
Too little, too late. Yeah. He's too old. I love the guy, but he's too old. You don't bring in Dax McCarty in the fucking 88th minute. You don't bring in Kai Kamara and expect anything in the 88th minute. I'm sorry, it doesn't happen. Maybe 10 years ago. Absolutely 10 years ago. But not
10 years ago.
Not anymore.
Not
and
anymore.
I love Kai Kamara. Hats off to that guy. I mean, he's right behind Dax, our guy with all the consecutive starts and the years in the league. And much respect to him, but no, you're not getting results done on a 2-1 lead or a 2-0 lead or a 3-0 lead in the 80th something minute. That's
a goal.
Too little, too late. So
midfield play. We saw Dax.
Yeah.
We saw Dax play. We saw Godoy play.
Dax is playing
and then we saw a rotation. What did you think of the midfield play?
I like to see what we did with the midfield last week and this week. Like, I feel like our midfield is kind of stepping up. I like to see what our defensive line is doing too. Shaq Moore, I'm a huge fan of Shaq Moore because he's a backline guy, but I mean he's constantly pressing that front line, or at least trying to feed the front line. So I really like that. I like to see what Walker did last week, but even without him in the game this week, I really like to see how our midfield played to kind of offset for the lack of the offensive press out of the back line.
Offensive press out of the back line, Chris.
I'll take it.
What do you expect? What do you expect in the next week? Are you coming to the Dallas game?
I'm not. I'm actually going to miss the Dallas game.
We're going to cut this.
Next week.
Next week. So
Next week, who do we play?
Who we got next week?
Next Wednesday, it's Miami.
It's Wednesday next week, Miami. All right. So here we
hate
go.
Miami
Ready?
so
Here we
much.
go. What are you expecting next week? We got Miami next week.
I just want to see Miami drown in a flood, a torrential flood of.
And that's not because of the fact that you're purple. That's because of the fact that that's a little bit purple.
It
It's a little
starts
bit
with my
purple.
purpleness, but
Yeah.
just fuck all things Miami. Just let's get a good win against Miami at home, and let's silence Joseph Martinez and keep proving
That's
that
right,
we.
it's Joseph Martinez.
And he scored tonight. He scored tonight for them. Did he score twice? He scored twice. Anyway, he scored all their goals this week. Anyway, let's just hope that we can shut him down. Let's hope Walker comes back in. Why was Walker out this week? Do we know?
Groin was the story for why he got pulled early. That's
If
all I got.
Groin was the story. That'd be my life.
Taylor Swift concerts
I was
tomorrow.
dressing up for the T Swift. I feel that.
He's got dancing to do.
I got to go home and sleep for the T Swift concert myself. Thank you for your time.